Hi there. This time of year, most businesses and leaders are developing goals for the next year and starting the planning process to achieve those goals for the next annual year. And what I see is a lot of times we unintentionally set ourselves up to achieve small results from our planning. That makes me think about the phrase I hear a lot, the saying of if you think small, you'll end up playing small. And I don't think a lot of us are business owners out there are doing this intentionally. It's how the process is. They're doing the right thing. Hey, I need a goal set. I need a plan. That's what you need to do. But how it's being executed is inadvertently leading us down the wrong path. So what I'm seeing happen is the problem is that they're coming into the planning already decided on what the task or the actions they want to work on first. And then they work from there and say, oh, okay, if I work on this stuff, what's the goals I need to achieve? And that's actually the backwards way of doing it. The only problem I'm seeing is they're confusing tasks with completing tasks with a goal. And they're very different. A list of tasks is a to-do list. That's very different than setting a goal and then figuring out what needs to be done. How do you do it to get there? So when we're doing it this way, what happens is the negative consequences of that is we inadvertently lower our goals to ensure that we'll be successful. We're not stretching because we started off with the activities and said, oh, if I do this, I'm going to sandbag and make sure so my brain doesn't get upset if I fail. And then we get small results. And then it creates frustration. When you have big dreams but act small, that's when people get very frustrated with the business and frustrated with the slow growth. And they keep falling in the trap of confusing tasks with goals. But when you're able to change this, follow the steps I'm going to outline, it's going to cause you to think differently about your business. It's going to cause you to think differently about what's new in the business to take it to the next level. You'll be able to work backwards from the goal to identify what needs to be done, not what you want to do. And when that happens, the results change and you're going to see your business evolve. So let's go deeper into some of this. So how do we confuse a task with a goal? So a task is, let me give you just roundabout is, I want to hire a person by this date. Okay, that's you either hired him or you didn't. Or I want to choose to get a CRM system in place by this date. All right, that's either you did it or you didn't. It's a yes or a no. There are no variations or degrees of success with that. Whereas a true goal is crafted using the SMART goal process. And SMART is it means the goal has got to be specific. Like there is a number that I'm going to get to, a percentage I'm going to get to, and if I met it, I'm successful, and if I didn't, I had a shortfall. It's very specific. It's got to be measurable. Yes and no. That's not necessarily measurable. It's got to be achievable. You don't want to think small, but you don't want to think so big that your brain gives up for. It's like I did $250,000 this past year, and setting a goal for $2 million may be just so big that our brain gives up before we even start. It's got to be relevant to what you're trying to achieve for the next period of time, and it's got to be time-based. And if you meet all those, then say yes. Is it specific? Is it measurable? Not a yes or no. Measurable and achievable, relevant, time-based. Then you've successfully set a goal. Let me give an example of this. Let's say that you decide, hey, I'd like to run a marathon next year. Okay, well, if your goal is, all right, I'm going to run every day. Okay, well, is that specific? Yeah, well, no. How far are you going to run? How long are you going to run? Is it measurable? Every day is a yes or no. I either did it every day or I didn't. Is it achievable? Absolutely. Is it relevant? Maybe. But the questions it doesn't ask is how long you're going to run, how far you're going to run, how much is your fitness progressing. A different way of doing it is saying, okay, by I don't know January 15th of the next year, I want to run a 26.2-mile marathon without stopping. Okay, great. Now I can work backwards and say, okay, 3 months before that, I need to be able to run 20 miles without stopping. And 3 months before that, I may need to be able to run 12 miles. And 3 months before that, 5 miles. And now I've got a goal for the quarter, and I can plan how much I'm going to do every week to be able to successfully meet each one of those milestones. Now, which one of those plans has a greater certainty of success? The second one, where we specific number and work back the quarterly goals for a progressive, um, uh, you know, development, or just say, hey, I'm going to run every day because my brain says that's a much easier goal to succeed with. So the steps, 3 steps to be able to do this. First is set that SMART goal. It could be about working hours in the business. It could be revenue collections. It could be based on more specific around lead generation. As long as it meets those SMART goals, set the goal, and then go into the second step, which is identify what new or next level strategy needs to be implemented to get to that point. Remember, if you're going to do what you've already been doing every day, every week, and expect it to all of a sudden get bigger results, how realistic is that? Why would it suddenly change? It's when we add new things or refine what we're doing in a specific area like sales or lead generation or management or whatever it is, that might get you better results if there's better consistency. But usually it means about layering another strategy. And once you pick the strategy, then you go into the third step is, all right, I got to do this new strategy. I've never done it before. I don't know anything about it. So you need to learn new things. And when you learn it, so reading books, watching, doing digital boot camps or online videos, whatever the learning you need to get done. And then you can, from that learning, you can plan and then you can execute. And that's when you're going to see change going. That's when you're going to be able to think differently because I'm learning differently. I'm looking at the business differently. Because I worked back, I identified the correct thing that needs to be done. The right action at the right time. And your business will evolve. Now, I always love to hear what everybody's dreaming big for. So I love to hear in your comments about what your big goal is for the next year. And if this really resonates with you, as I keep falling into this trap too, it's a vicious cycle. And you want to be able to think big and play big, schedule a discovery call. I'd love to be able to talk to you about this and help you craft that truly SMART goal and offer a list of potential new strategies to learn and implement to achieve those goals. Because sometimes we're like, I got the goal, but I don't really know what to choose from. I'd love to be able to talk to you and offer those solutions. I'd love to hear from you.